1 second, guys. Thanks, Bondic. All right. A little bit of a new setup. We will get used to it, though. And we will like it. Why do we have this on such a long trail? Give me a second. Let me fix this real quick. Tilt 5%. Okay. What's going on, everyone? I need to fix something really quickly in here because just so everyone knows, yeah, see, I should not have on old expired severe warnings. So let me fix that real quick. See if I can. Show only active alerts is on. Interesting. Interesting. What's going on, guys? We'll start in a second. What's going on, Mesomet? Oh, you know what I have in here as well? Storm reports. Let's go to warnings. There we go. Yeah, don't need to see the expired. What is this? Hold up, guys. Matt, I'm going to give you a call real quick. I might just close it and reopen it. 1 second, chat. We'll get started here in a second.
New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right, guys, we're ready. Sorry, I had to close out of... Weatherwise was throwing me every alert known to man. Every alert known to man. Gran with the $2 super chat. Gran, I appreciate you. What is going on? All right, let me quickly update everyone on what's going on. Here we go. It's still doing this. I have on don't show old alerts, so I'll have to fix this in my settings so it's not spazzing out for me. But I think that's something I'm just gonna do later. Yeah, Shoni active. Okay, I'll deal with that later. So here we go. We've got some. Well, this is what I'm saying. I have to fix this map because I'll pause it and we'll go to here. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning up here. 6 mile per hour, inch and a half. Radar indicated hail. This is moving east into Fort Worth region, Dallas Fort Worth region. This is, I'm a little bit surprised we don't have a warn on this. Lots of lightning, pretty high cloud tops here. Bear with me, I'm getting a little bit used to weather-wise, so some high velocities in here as well. Yeah, a little bit surprised we don't have that in there. The radar's also pulling way too long, which is something else I'm going to have to fix, but that's something I guess I can do later. Let me go into here. How's everyone's night going? We'll keep this going here for a second. We do only have, though, we do currently only have, we've got, these are about to expire, that's about to expire. So we've got one. We've got this severe thunderstorm warning right up here moving into Dallas Fort Worth. Like I said, your typical 60 mile per hour plus winds. Let's not click on the warning. There we go. 60 mile per hour plus gust potential, inch and a half hail. Nothing too major. Well, let me take a look at the velocities real quick. Some pretty high velocities in here. I could see how you could get 60 plus mile per hour gusts in here. I mean, it's not bad looking velocities. So nothing to freak out about if you're over here in West Fort Worth or even in the Fort Worth region out ahead of it. But something to pay attention to. That's about to be our only active severe thunderstorm warning. So obviously we still have our big severe thunderstorm watch out through this area, and we do have a mesoscale discussion. That does expire in 17 minutes, so if I'm being honest, it's not that important. We're going to have to wait until we see another mesoscale discussion come out. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings up here in Wyoming, and I do want to quickly look at these, and then I'll get to chat. So if we, and again, I never use Weatherize, guys, so we're just, what's the word they use? Raw dogging it? We're just jumping in. Literally just jumping in. Who cares, right? Okay. Let me get this infrared up. Give me a second. That's what we're watching over Texas. So, a few things going on up here. We've got severe thunderstorm warning. And this is the other problem. It wants me to keep clicking on the the warning behind it, which is something I'm gonna have to learn up here. These are all about to expire though. These are all about to expire. Give me a second, guys. Expired just now, expired just now, expired just now. Yeah, inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. Nothing major up here. Nothing that I'm too worried about. I'm going to have to, it just expired. Okay, these all just expired up there in Wyoming. I think they're all expired up there in Wyoming now. So we literally are just looking at this one to the west of Fort Worth. I'll make some changes on the back end when I'm off stream. I'm so used to Radar Omega. And I'm good at, I understand WSV3 as well, but all right, I'm gonna start looking at, I'm gonna start answering questions from the chat. Beat the notification. Yeah, you guys are crazy. I was a little bit late, but it's because I'm doing all this back end stuff. I'm changed up, you know, I'm changing some stuff. So, currently giving my friend in Wyoming storm info and bouncing into the stream. Yeah, looking pretty good up there, as I said. I believe all of these dropped off. You do have a special weather statement. See, they all dropped off. You just got these special weather statements. 50 plus mile per hour gusts possible, maybe pea-size hail. So not too much to worry about up there currently, which is good. I'm doing good tonight, Eden. What's going on? Arlington, Texas. Yeah, I mean, this is just out to your west. Just out to your west. So, I got to figure out if, you know what I can actually do? Boop. I can pop right into Radar Omega. I can take a look at how far away it is. Okay, so I can use both of these. About 17 miles to your west. Let's see what this storm's moving at. We've got this severe thunderstorm moving at 20 miles per hour. We can quickly see how far is this from Arlington. It is moving out. This thing might dive a little bit to your south, but let's put it in 20 miles per hour from Arlington. About an hour. About an hour away. Again, inch and a half hail, 60 plus mile per hour gust. Not a super severe looking storm, but it's something to watch out for. You know who's targeted tornado, I think. I know you're from the There's a 3 strikes rule for bad behavior, chat. Thanks, Leon. Yeah. Let's all be nice. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch up on chat. What's going on, Charles? This is our only active severe thunderstorm warning right now, guys. We do have some nice looking thunderstorms down here to the south, moving just past Waco, moving to the southeast, and then moving through Fairfield, headed to the southeast as well down here in Texas. But I'm actually going to turn off for now my mesoscale discussions. If I can work this out, just because, as I said, just bear with me because I'm kind of working my way through weather-wise. I should be able to, I believe, through here, mesoscale. All right, I'll figure it out later, guys. All right, Isaiah blocked. I appreciate that, Blondie. How's Lawrence, Kansas looking? Lawrence, Kansas is looking fine here. I'm gonna come over here just so we can have a smoother stream, and I'm gonna get a little bit more familiar with the weather-wise off stream, so that tomorrow and the next day we can have a smooth stream. Weather-wise isn't complicated. It's very, very similar to Radar Omega. There's a few little things that I just need to make sure that I understand how they correspond over to weather-wise. That's all. It'll probably take me like 30 minutes to feel good working on weather-wise. So someone said, "Jeez, okay, I blocked Isaiah. That's crazy. That's way too much spam. If someone spams that much, guys, you could block them. That's crazy." South Central New Mexico tomorrow. We can quickly go into our... Sorry about that. Let's go into our day 2. We don't have a lot going on. Again, we have that severe thunderstorm warning just out to the west of Dallas-Fort Worth. Out to the west of Fort Worth, heading east. Here is our severe threat tomorrow. Let me do this. Here's what we're looking at for tomorrow. So, big slight stretching up through portions of the south and central plains, and then through portions of, you can see here, western Minnesota. I can quickly take a look. What I believe we actually have our 00ZHRRR out right now. Let's take a look at that. I am getting a weird lag with this too. I wonder, I think it's because weather-wise is trying to do a million things. Let me figure it out, guys. I'll keep that open though. I'll keep this open. That's what happens when you adjust your setup. A little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning. So bear with me. Bear with me, chat. All right, HRRR for tomorrow. Let's go through it. Here we go. You can actually see this low spinning off from the south. Let's not put that into motion. Here we go. Here's our low pressure. Moving up into the northeast. And we get some nice storms moving into that slight region at around 4 p.m. Central. 4 or 5 p.m. Central, give or take an hour. These storms never move. The timing is always a little bit off. Well, usually, not always. And you can actually see what's happening here. You've got a lot of storms to your north and to your south, and you're probably going to have some outflow boundaries colliding somewhere here through northern Kansas and southern Nebraska. So there's going to be a lot of weird shear going on in this region. I wanted to quickly take a look at what's going on with our tornado threat tomorrow. That's our day 1 threat. Pay no attention to that. This is our day 2. They have a little bit of a 5% where you can see these kind of colliding up here. Southwestern Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, and then northeastern Colorado. Not surprising. I think we might go 10%. I don't want to say it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to go 10%. And then you've got that both slight wind and slight hail risk. I will tell you this, guys. I do think we're going to get an enhanced in here, but last week this was looking way worse. Our trough is a little bit more de-amplified than what we thought it was going to be, so it's not looking as bad. I think what we're really paying attention to right now is going to be our day 3. Is going to be this setup, which our HRRR I don't think is going to pull us all the way out to. There you go. Look at this line here. Nice QLCS setup here. And potentially some... Well, we could end up having a moderate threat for wind. So I think it may be a wind-driven threat. I think we could get a moderate. Not for tornadoes, not with what I'm seeing, but that's something we got to watch on Tuesday. Let me get back to our day 1. Tuesday for Southwest Wisconsin. Yeah, you guys are gonna get in the mix on Tuesday for Southwest Wisconsin. Yeah. It's Omaha in danger. No one's in danger. No one is in danger. I will say though, you know, you've got a decent looking severe setup heading out into the plains and into the Midwest. I wouldn't use the word danger, but just something you got to be aware of. You know, something I'd say keep your alerts on for. This is going to be, I think, more of a soaking event, this first round of storms up here. And then as we get this together like this, we'll have to see how our lapse rates, you know, what's going on with our lapse rate recovery. But as we get this forming here and moving off to the east, this could be our more major event. So this is around 4 p.m. Central right here on Tuesday. And you can see we get everyone involved. We're talking Wichita through Kansas City, potentially Oklahoma City, Tulsa. This is going to move out all the way through Missouri, St. Louis,
new severe
Davenport,
thunderstorm
Madison,
warning
Chicago.
has been issued.
Minneapolis could get in on the fun, Des Moines, Green Bay. So, yeah, this is late evening or late afternoon through the evening into the night. This is going to be a big region to watch on Tuesday. I've showed it before, but I'll show it again. We've got, if we want to quickly run into our latest Euro, we can take a look at what's going on. I like seeing what's going on with our 850 millibar. That's our low-level jet. That typically can show you the potential significance of the severe weather. Stronger your low-level jet is, the more instability you're going to get pulled into the region, dew point, shear, helicity, everything. Here we go, getting into Tuesday. Pretty nice jet. Pretty nice 850 millibar jet. Actually, we're getting 65 knots, close to 80 mile per hour, low-level winds pushing through portions of southeastern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. You can see nice southerly flow here. We're going to have a westerly flow probably with that mid-level jet as well. So, yeah. This right here would be Tuesday around 9 p.m. When we're starting to push a little bit farther east into Illinois, Indiana, western Michigan potentially, eastern Wisconsin. Something to pay attention to. Monday, you can see our jet isn't jetting, we could say, as much, but it's still there. It's still there Monday. Still something to watch there. Let me close this out. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning, so we're going to talk about that real quick. Down here we go. Just out to the east of Waco, Texas. Ping pong ball size hail, 60 mile per hour plus gust potential. This is actually just to the east of Mexia, moving down to the south-southeast through Teague, Texas. Again, this isn't a super, super dangerous severe thunderstorm, but it is something to pay attention to. I wouldn't want to be caught outside. Ping pong ball size hail. You know, these gusts could knock out some power, potentially pull down some tree limbs and stuff like that. So, you know, they have this severe thunderstorm warning in a really weird spot because this storm is actually now down to the south of it. So I think they're going to change. They're going to change this. This is moving to the southeast, even though the severe thunderstorm warning up here makes it look like it's moving directly to the east. My local meteorologist is saying it's not an impressive severe weather because it hits St. Louis at night. The time of day you could get the most severe weather in the world at 4 a.m. or you could get it at 4 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. You may be less likely without daytime heating and stuff like that to get something super late at night, but the time, like the actual time on the clock doesn't really matter. It's more the timing of the severe parameters. Are your, like, you know, what are your low, mid and upper level jets doing, and where's the dry line and the instability, or there's the timing of your severe weather parameters is important. Not really. You know, we've had horrible tornadoes, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Like I said, daytime heating can have an effect and stuff like that, but I don't like look at something and say, okay, this is not going to be as severe because it's happening at this time. You just more look at the parameters. Can we see Tuesday severe weather watch? Well, the risk zone. Here, we can look at this. We go into... This is our day 2 categorical outlook. Let's go to day 3 is our Tuesday. So here you go. We'll do the categorical. This is going to expand. Usually they do expand. You'll probably see this marginal expand out. I think you'll see the slight get a little bigger. We'll see an enhanced in there. Not guaranteed, but just based on the look of it, I think we'll at least get a wind-driven enhanced risk. Potentially somewhere from pushing up through Oklahoma up through at least southeastern Iowa, but obviously it's yet to be seen. As when we wake up tomorrow, and we're in the day 2, we'll see those updates. Any severe weather for Pittsburgh in the near future? You know, this stuff is going to be pushing out east. So if we do look into, yeah, I'll do rapid fire in a second here. If we do, they don't have a day 4, they don't have a day 5, they don't have a day 6, don't have a day 7. I think we may end up getting a day 4, day 5 out here. We saw some very interesting stuff happening out here, especially actually in New England. So I would say Thursday, we were seeing an interesting setup actually Friday, Saturday out here in the Northeast. The weekend could get a little spicy for you guys up here in the Mid-Atlantic and New England, severe weather-wise, actually, believe it or not. Wichita, Kansas, you guys are doing pretty good tonight. We are going to be watching you guys tomorrow. We can go into our day 2. Right on the edge of that marginal, and then we'll also be watching you. You're going to have this weather transitioning overnight, and then we'll be watching you on our day 3, which is our Tuesday thread as well. So Monday, Tuesday, we'll have to be alert there in Wichita. Jasmine, Yali, Megan, I appreciate you guys. What about day 3, Guthrie, Oklahoma? Where's Guthrie? Guthrie's out there to the east. Yeah, we'll be watching. That's kind of in the day 3. We can go take a look at that again. And then I want to just update guys on the storms, or update everyone on what's going on with the storms. You guys are in that slight. Could see, like I said, an a wind-driven enhanced risk. Sorry guys, I can't talk today. I've been doing so much. My brain is scattered. I've been like updating and working on stuff with my stream all day, so my brain's like all over the place. Yes. Okay, so guys, I'm going to answer as many questions as I can right now. Let me just quickly remind everyone, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning down here. This is moving through Teague, Texas, down to the southeast towards Buffalo, Centreville, Texas. Again, ping pong ball size hail, 60 mile per hour plus gusts possible. Not the most damaging severe thunderstorm I've ever seen, but you probably don't want to get caught outside, and that could cause some damage to power outages. That's really all we have going on right now. We have a total of 5 alerts. We only have 1 severe thunderstorm warning and no tornado warnings. Yeah, we can get into, if you guys want, we can get into I'll just answer some questions on what's ahead. We can also take a look at the tropics, because there is some stuff going on in the tropics that we can talk about as well. But if you do ask about your area and it's a small city or something, say like, instead of, if it's a small city in like eastern Kansas, say central east Kansas, northeast, north central. I'm not going to know. I'm not going to be able to do it rapid fire if I have a bunch of small towns and stuff like that. You guys want to know about the tropics? Let's take a quick look at this. All right. And again, I've changed my setup a little bit. So if I sound like I'm fumbling around this stream, it's because I've always done the same exact stream setup and I'm very comfortable with it. And we made some changes. These are better changes. This is an upgrade, but it's weird. It's weird to my eyes. My computer's has a different latency and stuff. So, all right, let's go take a look. Let's talk about the tropics for a second. You think you saw Thundercloud? Where? All right. Let's take a quick look at our Atlantic wide. Here's what's going on, guys. Here's our satellite. Again, we only have one Spirit Thunderstorm warning right now. Denver. What do you think of that special weather statement? I want to take a look at that. Give me a second. I don't see anything there, but okay, so let me talk about this real quick. We've got a nice little force field of shear protecting us in the States right now, by the way. Bunch of convection, and you can actually see some spin in the atmosphere here. You can actually see it right here. You can see some spin there. NHC, and I'll see if they updated this, but they've been giving this a 40% chance of development over the next, I believe, week. Let me go over to the Eastern Pacific. Still 40% chance. I think we'll probably see at least a depression out of this. We are also watching this moisture down here that wants to potentially move up into the Caribbean. That's what the GFS sees. The Euro doesn't see it. Again, take this all with a large grain of salt, guys. We don't have any confidence on any sort of landfalling storm in the U.S., so you don't have to worry about that for now. But we do see, the models are seeing, and so is the Euro, actually. The Euro and GFS do both see around sometime between June 6th and June 9th some sort of tropical cyclone trying to spin up here in the Caribbean or Eastern Pacific. The GFS likes to slam it into the U.S. as a hurricane. Again, not likely to happen, so don't worry. The Euro wants to throw it off to the west. Like I said, I'm not overly concerned right now. So getting into our temperature anomalies, obviously we're hot. We're more than warm enough. We're very, very hot out here. Let me go and let me just show you the models really quickly. I'll show you what's going on with it, but I don't want anyone to be worried, like I said. Let's go to the GFS first. We'll push over to the Western Atlantic. It is the first day of hurricane season, so you can see a lot of moisture down there. Eastern Pacific, Southern Caribbean as well. We move forward in time. There's that first potential tropical cyclogenesis about 150 hours out in Eastern Pacific. This is on the GFS. Kind of believable. The Euro and the GFS see it. The National Hurricane Center has highlighted it, so we're going to watch that. That wouldn't obviously likely affect the States. Then here we go. We possibly get another tropical cyclogenesis as early as 180 hours out. I'm not going to discount this because 180 isn't too crazy for the GFS in the tropics. The GFS can spot things 220 hours out sometimes. So it's interesting. It does move it up to the north, and it pulls it basically right into Houston as like a tropical storm hurricane. Is this going to happen? Probably 99% chance no. Maybe even more than that. But seeing potential, when I say tropical cyclogenesis, just the initiation of a tropical cyclone, the formation, the birth of a tropical cyclone in the Caribbean, potentially around 190 hours out. It's something that we'll watch. We'll keep our eyes on. Again, no reason to be concerned, though. The Euro, let me just see if the Euro has any other. The Euro has no confidence in this Caribbean system, too, which is good news for people who don't want this to happen. See, the Euro does spawn something up. But it spawns it up, a second storm out there in the Eastern Pacific. Again, that would not harm the U.S. So the Euro does, I will say, put a nice pocket of moisture down here, southwestern Caribbean, around the same time as the GFS, but again, not too alarming. So that's what's going on. Eastern Atlantic, we don't really need to worry about it all right now, and I'll tell you why. We'll worry about it in a little bit, but Eastern Atlantic, let's take a look at our tropical Atlantic. Look at those anomalies, guys. Look at those temperature anomalies. We are supposed to have a pretty active monsoon season out here in Africa, which could enhance our mid to late hurricane season, but the waters are well below average. They're barely warm enough for tropical development. Another reason not to be too worried. I will say the one thing I'm watching closely, and I said it in my video today, is our Bermuda high floating around. It's a seasonal high that forms out here in the Atlantic. It is, it's farther west than was forecast. If this thing does, Noah wanted this thing to be way out. Did my voice just crack? Noah wanted this thing to be way out here for hurricane season, at least for the first half, meaning it would pull a lot of these potential cyclones up into the northern Atlantic. It's a little bit farther west than projected, and that can help with steering storms potentially more towards the U.S. Not potentially, it would. So we need to watch and see if this thing wants to float away from us or hold tight towards the States, which right now it wants to hold tight towards the States. So it could be an active early season down here. It could be based on the temperature of the waters, the placement of the Bermuda high, the Enso neutral to weak La Nina is pretty active. We have some pretty good composites in those Enso cycles for hurricane season. So that's what's going on there. There are no tornadoes right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning down here in Texas. It just moved through Teague, Texas, moving down to the south-southeast towards Buffalo and Centerville. Ping pong ball size hail, again, 60+ mile per hour gusts are possible. Piedmont Mountain, Missouri. Again, it's easier if you just tell me what part of Missouri it's in. Because, or else it takes me a long time to do this. You guys could have a threat Tuesday into Wednesday out here. I think you're going to end up being in this marginal on Tuesday. Tomorrow when we get the SPC update, but not too much to worry about right now until then. So there's going to be a hurricane in Virginia? Very unlikely. Can you see the northern lights in Oklahoma tonight? Yeah, you should be able to. Maybe with the naked eye, but definitely with the phone. You could, well, my inbox is so flooded. You can send it if you want. I can see if I can see it. Anything happening in Minnesota? Well, Minnesota could get a little bit spicy Monday into Tuesday. Monday, we're watching a lot of Minnesota. Tuesday, we'll see. Earlier in the day, Tuesday, you could see some bad weather in southeastern Minnesota. So pushing to our day 2 here. Here's kind of more of our Minnesota threat. You could end up being in a slight Minneapolis on Tuesday as well. We'll see. On Monday as well, I mean.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
How's it looking east of D.C. and Maryland? You guys got some storms off the coast. There's not much going on out there. Not much going on out there. I may actually... Here, let me do something real quick. I'll change my MRMS settings back here to... There we go. Fort Worth, Texas, you guys you have the storm moving just to your south right now. It's actually moving through Burleson down to the southeast towards Waxahachie. It was severe warned. It's not anymore. It's a decent looking thunderstorm. It doesn't look like you have a hail core in it, though. You definitely have a hail core down here in the storm that's moving just to the south of Teague, down to the southeast. Weatherford, Texas. You guys do have some storms out there to your west. We can take a look at the HRRR and see what it's thinking for the rest of the night. All right, so here we go. Wants these storms to move right out. Some potential thunder showers in the morning. Nothing too significant though. You do have some soaking rain moving into New Mexico, and then moving out into eastern North Dakota and eastern Montana up there tomorrow morning. Seagoville. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, you guys would be good. You have those storms down to your south right now. They're moving away. We could get another thunderstorm firing up down here, but we're not expecting many storms to initiate behind the ones that we already have here, so not overly concerned. Do this real quick. Did they take that warning off? Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, no problem. Walker County due for storms? Where? Georgia? Alabama? Texas? There's a lot of Walker counties. You sent it? Let me see. Let me see. You can tell there's some updrafts there by the cloud formation, by the turbulent looking clouds, but I don't think. I think it's more likely scud. Clouds look a little turbulent though. Chat, what do you think? What do you think, chat? Funnel cloud or scud? You can see that base layer of clouds. You can tell when there's turbulence up in the clouds. Turbulence being caused by updrafts. So, I mean, it could be a little funnel cloud, but I think it's more likely scud. Suspicious. I'm not superstitious, just a little stitious. Yeah, interesting though. Hard to tell. Yeah, you would have to probably try to look for rotation. Scud or cold air funnel. Yeah, I think it's more likely scud. Yeah. If it were a funnel cloud too, you'd probably be able to see some pretty rapid. You'd be able to zoom in on video and see some pretty rapid rotation. You know what I mean? Well, guys, we don't have much going on. This storm is still looking pretty impressive, I will say. Moving to the southeast of Teague, it's got a nice little hail core in here. 65 decibels. Ping pong ball size hail. Down in this one, yeah. We can talk about hurricane season more if you want. Yeah, listen, the streams tomorrow and Tuesday will probably be I hate to say it, but like more exciting. Not necessarily in a good way, but we're probably gonna have a lot going on. There's gonna be a lot to talk about. It's actually been great recently. You know, sometimes it's good. Streams lately there's not been much to talk about, but that means that there's not a bunch of horrible weather, so that's good. We can talk about hurricane season a little more if you guys want to do that. And then I might just do an hour tonight since there's not a ton going on. And then I'm going to spend some time making sure I'm familiar with weather-wise for my streams the next 2 days, because there's a few different key bindings and stuff that I've got to get transitioned over to for weather-wise. Like I said, it's pretty similar to Radar Omega, just a few things. Yeah, I can talk about tomorrow. Okay, I'll go over hurricane season one more time real quick, and then we'll talk about tomorrow as well. You know what, guys? Here, let's do this. Let's talk about this week. Let me talk about hurricane season, and then let's talk about what's coming up this week. I could go off on a rant right now, and I could talk weather for the next hour straight with you guys and just tell you everything that's going on. I'll try to tell you the important things. I'm going to give you a summary of what's going on in hurricane season right now. For anyone who's interested, this is all probably good information. We have the second warmest waters on record. Okay, we looked at the climate reanalyzer yesterday. We have the second warmest waters on record out here in the Gulf, Western Atlantic, Northern Caribbean. The Gulf is specifically second warmest on record. We can actually take a look at that. Why not? Sea surface temperature. Okay. And let's push to the Gulf. You guys don't believe me? Here we go. This is right now. This was last year. It was the hottest ever last year. This is right now. This is our average. Oops. I don't want to exaggerate. This is our average. Okay. Look at the gap. Look at the gap, guys. Well, it wouldn't be like that. The gap would be like this. Look at the gap. Okay. They're warm. They're warm. We've got waters. We have waters around the Keys right now at 90 to 91 degrees. 90 to 91. And remember, these waters, June is not when the waters are warmest. We're more talking August, like September. September when these waters are the warmest. They're still warming all the way through. They're sometimes still warming all the way through the early October. So, yeah, they're hot. We all know the warmer the waters, the more evaporation you get. Moist air is buoyant. There's a lot of lift with it. That moisture gets pulled up into the atmosphere. It releases that latent heat. It's fuel for storms. Water temperatures are extremely important to watch. But they're not everything. You can have the warmest waters in the world, and you can have shear, and you can have a bunch of stuff that doesn't allow storm development. So I don't want to scare anyone. Water temperatures are important, but they're not everything. So that's what's going on out here. Like I said earlier, one good thing we could talk about that's not so bad, we have well below average temperatures out here. We've got above average Saharan dust. We could have some sheer and dry conditions out there because of that. So Eastern Atlantic, or what we call the tropical Atlantic, is looking not so spicy, which is good. Although that's kind of normal for the beginning of hurricane season, or at least just for kicking it off. We're going to be watching homegrown storms in the beginning. We have seen consistent wind shear moving through the Gulf and out through the Western Atlantic. And I see the models lighting up a little bit, giving it a little passage. That's why I'm slightly concerned about going into the next 2 weeks. But for the most part, we still have a lot of shear that's going to be moving across the Gulf. And again, storms, they try to move through wind shear and they fall apart. You got a low pressure in the middle of your hurricane, and then the hurricane itself is a massive high pressure, and you have very, very high cloud tops. And when you have winds interacting with with that storm, with those clouds moving violently from a separate direction, it does exactly what it sounds like. It shears the storm to pieces. The storm weakens. So a lot of things going in our favor right now on that front. Now, the concerning thing as well with the warm waters, though, is our Bermuda high placement. Like I said earlier, this thing's supposed to be out here, or at least was forecast to be farther out to the east. And it's a little bit farther off to the west. What this could lead to is, if you got a Bermuda high out here, in the northern hemisphere, wind rotates clockwise around a high pressure, counterclockwise around a low pressure. Bermuda high out to the east is going to steer storms out into the North Atlantic. Bermuda high that sets up closer to the states is going to steer them into the states potentially. So warm waters, a Bermuda high placement concerning, and the Enso cycle concerning. Wind shear is going to be our best friend over the next 2 to 3 weeks, because I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for tropical development in the Gulf and Caribbean, and I think possibly enhanced wind shear is going to keep those at least from making any sorts of landfall in the states. We do have above average water out here, far eastern Atlantic, and this is going to put a lot more thunderstorms, convection into the air. This is going to lead to more shear as well. So it's interesting. I'd say 3 things are in the favor of the active tropics out here, and then there's one thing that's against it, which is a little bit of above average shear. But it's something that we're going to really need to be paying attention to for sure. The NHC, NOAA has given this season a 60% chance of being an above average season. So thinking there's more of a chance than not that it will be a very active season. So all that taken into account. Okay. That's what's important right now with that stuff. Really quickly, and then I'll get back to questions. Mezzo! Yeah, Papa Hurricane Connor. You guys know I love my hurricane season. I grew up in Florida, been through the eye of Francis, Jean, and Wilma. I love it. I don't love when it destroys people's lives, but I love the science around hurricanes. I love the science around it. Okay, let me. What did I do? Am I not zoomed in correctly? 100%. Hello. Okay. Really quickly, I just want to show you guys the next few days. Really quickly. You know what's going on tonight? Not much. I think we have one severe thunderstorm warning still right now. Let's go to our day 2. We get Western Oklahoma. I'm going to talk about the slight, but you can see we do have a large marginal as well. Most enhanced severe weather looks to be in northern panhandle of Texas, Western Oklahoma, Western Kansas, Eastern Colorado, the majority of Nebraska, maybe southeastern Wyoming gets involved up there, and then eastern South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota. Breaking it down into the 4-panel, only a 2% threat. I think we will, I don't know, Matt probably agrees. I think we'll probably get at least a 5% tomorrow, but maybe not. Maybe no upgrade. That would be fantastic. Then we would only be worrying about wind and hail tomorrow, and none of it is hatched, meaning none of it looks like it could be super large hail or super damaging wind. The outlook for tomorrow isn't too bad. A lot of times there's a day 1 risk update though that pushes it a little bit further. So that is going to come in the morning. I'll release an early video. I'll talk about that. And I do my afternoon streams usually right now too. So I'll be talking about that. I'll get on 30-40 minutes and talk about that update. Day 3, I'm pretty sure this is going enhanced tomorrow. Matt, opinion? I'm pretty sure this is going enhanced tomorrow. It doesn't look crazy, but it looks crazy enough. So enhanced is a 3 out of 5 risk, by the way, guys. So, you know, it doesn't actually look too bad on the Euro. These are our low-level winds. Directionally, it's doing the right thing. It will, yeah. I'm hoping to be back to cover tomorrow night, maybe. Yeah. I think tomorrow night is we'll get an upgrade. I'm almost certain Tuesday this thing's going to go enhanced. I still think a moderate's on the table. Probably wind-driven. But that's something we'll have to see. Now, down the line, and I want to show you guys this. The Euro was showing some interesting weather for the Northeast. Or it was the GFS. The Euro's not actually showing anything too bad, but we were seeing a really weird troughing pattern up here through Mid-Atlantic and New England. Let me see if the GFS is still showing this. Yeah, you see what happens here. We get another trough moving through. Upper level low pushing up into the northeast. You can see we have some pretty good low level winds pushing up through the Ohio Valley, up in through portions of the Mid-Atlantic and New England. That would be a decent severe weather day for the Northeast. That's about 130 to 150 hours out on the GFS. It's kind of believable. The Euro has it a little bit farther north. Has the shear a little bit farther up to the north. So we'll see. They both have a little bit of instability up there as well. But I do think we could have an interesting Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday up there in the Northeast, and maybe even an interesting Thursday through the Ohio Valley, then Friday, Saturday in the Northeast. And again, don't pay too much attention to the fact that the GFS is putting like a Cat 4 into Louisiana. Guys, that's like, this is what we call La La Land. Out here, like, the model doesn't know what's happening out here. You could extend that even a little bit more, but the model doesn't know what's happening out here. It does not know. The odds of this happening are, there's a better chance that you win the lottery. It looks cool on the model though, right? It looks nice little tight spin. Looks cool, but it's no. Nope. We're not putting that out there. I do think, and I'll get back to answering questions. I do think we're going to see at least marginals and slights in here. Just saying. Maybe even here, marginals and slights. We've got the pattern for it. How cooked is Chicago by any chance? Chicago late Tuesday into early Wednesday. Well, Chicago could even get involved. Not even late Tuesday. Chicago could get involved Tuesday evening. early evening based on what we've seen. So Chicago could see some strong winds damaging hail, and there's probably going to be at least a small tornado chance up there on Tuesday evening, at least from what we can see. So we will be watching that area Tuesday. Confused Blonde, I appreciate you. Tuesday could be bad in Iowa. I'm not going to say it will be, but the potential's there. Like I said, this is likely going to go enhanced. We're probably going to see this slight expand and the marginal expand. So central to eastern Iowa is probably our biggest threat on Tuesday.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's up in Wyoming, guys. We can take a look at that real quick. Just to the east of Upton. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. It also looks like it's moving slow. Yeah. Okay, no. It's moving... Okay, yeah, west at 10 miles per hour. Oh, this is moving west. That's funny. It's 5 miles per hour. It's not doing anything. But it is just out to the east of Upton. Wow, this is a horrible radar. How far is this from the radar? This looks terrible. This looks terrible on radar. Not like dangerous. I mean, like the quality looks bad. There's a little bit of... We'll watch that. I don't think... A little bit of spin in there, but nothing too bad. 60 plus mile per hour gust, $half size hail. This is your classic severe thunderstorm warning. We'll keep our eye on it for a little bit. Let me just update down here. Hail size down here dropped. That's good news. That is good news. Yeah, look, that hail core is depleted down here, guys. That's good. That's good. Less instability. Not as favorable of an environment that it's moving into. It's using up all its energy. Nashville, Tennessee, any this week? I would say for you guys, we Wednesday to Thursday, we may get a severe threat through that region. I can show you the roof. It's
new information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I can show you the roof is down there, yeah. Let me do that real quick. Rufus is a fun model to mess around with. 00Z is loading, but we'll use this one here. We'll push. Let's go into the Ohio Valley. There we go. Thanks, Bonding.
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
Here we go.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Notice what's happening here. This is right at around 5 p.m. Central, Tuesday. Squall line moving through Missouri there. Could be significant. And then that's out there in Kansas and Oklahoma as well. You can see what wants to happen here on Wednesday. We might even get it trailing into mesomat territory, but this would be potentially an Ohio Valley threat. We could get central to southern Illinois, central to southern Indiana, Ohio, maybe even up there in southeastern Michigan involved, maybe even portions of Kentucky. Again, let me look at what the NAM's doing out here. It's not going to go as far, but I want to see what's happening. We'll see. They don't even have anything for Wednesday yet, but I think we'll have the possibility for some risk zones out through this region. Maybe western Tennessee. We'll have to see how it develops. Michigan? Yeah, again, that Wednesday, south to southeastern Michigan could get involved. I'm not overly really concerned about it. You do get into this marginal risk, western Michigan on Tuesday. I do think the slight's going to expand out. I don't expect it to cover Michigan, though. Pennsylvania, again, Friday, Saturday. We have to watch what happens out here in the Northeast. Friday, Saturday. We need to watch what happens out here. Why is that about the Northeast? Well, we see the GFS pulling some pretty strong low-level winds up through this region. Some nice southwesterly winds as well. We're seeing some on the model, some instability, some higher dew points. It's looking like we could have a little bit of a severe weather setup. The Euro keeps that jet a little bit farther to the north, which which may end up being more of a threat for Western New York, Northwestern PA, maybe Michigan, Ohio. We'll have to see. But there's not really too tight of model consensus on the GFS and the Euro for Friday and Saturday, but there will be soon, and we'll know. Is that a tornado? I'm in, there's no tornado in Butler. Anything going on in Tennessee? We had a risk. Now it's gone today. Really? You had something going on in Tennessee today? Interesting. Yeah, you guys got some small showers moving through. Nothing major, though. Not too much of a severe weather risk, at least over the next 72 hours. We'll see what happens if we get anything involved in Western Tennessee, Central Western Tennessee on Wednesday or Thursday. Not looking too likely, though. Does Cape look decent for any of the Ohio Valley for Wednesday or Thursday? We can take a look at that real quick. Let's look at our Cape values. Let's look. I like to look at surface-based Cape. My preference. And we can look at the Rufus. Let's see what the Rufus is doing. It's not going to go all the way out. The 00Z is loading that will. But I guess I'll pull it up on the Euro. We can check on the Euro real quick. I'm actually going to pull out here. There we go. The Euro puts a decent amount, not a crazy amount, a decent amount of instability up through the Ohio Valley, yeah. Lower Mississippi Valley up through the Ohio Valley on Wednesday, yeah. And then it pulls some of that up into the Northeast, you can see here. So it does still show this kind of potential up here in the Northeast. The GFS shows a little bit more. But we start to get an interesting, on both the GFS and Euro, as we get into next weekend, we start to get an interesting, consistent shot of instability out here through the central to southern plains. When you look at this further, and I talked about this, was it yesterday or earlier? I think it was yesterday. Watch this instability through the southern, central, and southern plains. Just big shot after big shot after big shot after big shot. You see that? I mean, huge instability day after day after day after day. So, second week of June, 7th through, we'll say the 7th through the 14th, second week of June, central to southern plains could be extremely active. I believe the GFS sees something similar. Let's take a look at it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, yeah, it's really doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, this whole area, the second week of June, we'll have to see if the models start changing, but lots of action potential. Keep it away from Thursday, sir. I think you'll be good Thursday. Okay, birthday festivities. I think you'll be good Thursday. Cedar Point where? Chances of northern lights in western Ohio, they will be visible in western Ohio as long as you don't have clouds above your head. So. And guess what? You don't have clouds above your head. So. Confirmed. You should be able to see them. If you can't see them with the naked eye, you may be able to see them with the phone. They come in waves, though. So, you guys are looking good. Unfortunate for people in Dallas-Fort Worth who want to take a picture on their phone of them because you've got clouds over you. Wyoming, Montana. Oof, New York. Is Rolette, Texas good for tonight? I think so. We can take a look at it. We can take a look at it. Roll it. You guys should be good. Yeah, most of these storms are just going to be moving off into the south and southeast. You guys should be good. You guys should be good up there, yeah. Yeah, the clouds above Dallas, I know. Because you guys should be able to get that on your phone. That far south. Yep. Oh, wait, oops. Oh, no, yeah, you guys can see what I'm looking at. Good. You know what? I'm not going to be on much longer, but maybe this is a perfect time just to try to get... Guys, any weather-wise experts in here? Let me actually do this. I don't need as drastic of a time. What this is like 2 hours. There's a couple things I need to figure out on here. I need to turn my mesoscale discussion off. It's just too much. As well. This is weather-wise. The other one's Radar Omega. You haven't figured out how to turn the mesoscale discussion off? I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. I just hate that it only shows the active Severe Thunderstorm Warning 2 when I pause. We do have a Severe Thunderstorm Warning now right out in eastern Colorado. So, 60 mile per hour winds, inch hail. Let's take a look at our velocities. Doesn't look like we have really much rotation there. I like to look at velocities, though, in Radar Omega. It just does it better. So, we'll go up there and take a look at it. Let's go up there into Colorado. Let's go into our local. There we go. Let's look at the base. Strong winds. I'm not seeing any rotation.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Nice little hail core here. Not bad, though. But it is headed to the east, out towards Vona, Stratton, Bethune, Burlington. These are all your general thunderstorms. This one's got the biggest hail, but still not looking to... it's just floating around here, not really just bothering anyone. It looks like that hail core is falling apart as well. Was that storm heading to the Woodlands, Texas, North Houston? Oh, down here. It's gonna be. I don't think it makes it that far down to the south. They might even let this expire. The severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah. Yeah, they might even let it expire. Can anyone else in Ohio see the Northern Lights right now? Oh, can anyone in Ohio? They might be able to. Is it going to rain this week? It depends where you are. You want to see where we're going to get rain this week? 5-day rain forecast. Here we go. Let's go to Euro. Quantitative precipitation outlook. Push out about 7 days. There's where it's gonna rain. Now, the blue, the green is like a drizzle. Even like the purple, the light pink is not that much rain. Once you get into the reds and the yellows and the oranges, okay. This is. I'll try to outline it. Okay, like that's like a decent amount of rain in that section there. Over the next 7 days. Potentially. Yeah, East Texas, I mean, you guys get a lot of rainfall. I mean, I can show you precipitation. Push down to Texas. Watching some potential thunder showers out there, Eastern Texas tomorrow. I say thunder showers if I don't think they're going to be severe. A little bit of severe weather, North Central Texas. Monday, Tuesday, as we talked about. And look at Wednesday, man. Wednesday. No, that's really Tuesday night into Wednesday. Does think we could... Yeah, North and Eastern Texas are going to get a lot. North and Eastern Texas aren't really going to get much of a break. It's believable that you guys could have a lot of moisture out here. Really, it's Northern Texas that looks like the target, though. We're talking anywhere 3 to 6 inches potentially up here through the work week. Well, hopefully it doesn't this year. Oh, you're just learning it, Blondie? Yeah, I'm going to figure it all out right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to get off, guys. I want to, because the next couple days could have the potential to be pretty active. We could end up getting some pretty slam streams, especially on the TikTok side of thing. Obviously, usually I have like 50 times more the amount of people on my TikTok side than my YouTube side right now. Hopefully that changes. But we could get some pretty active streams. So I want to make sure, and obviously I might end up... I'll talk about this off stream, but I want to make sure that I've got my new setup down, and I'm also going to work tonight on making sure in this overlay you guys see there's going to be boxes for Storm Chasers. I'll be using Storm Chasers, and I'll be able to keep them up on screen. So when they have something, or when they're chasing, when they've got a good look at a storm. So I got to set that up. I want to make sure I've got WeatherWise going, and yeah, could be an interesting couple days. Not just severe weather-wise, but I'm waiting on the Euro and GFS to come to some consensus on this Caribbean, potential storm. GFS sees it, Euro doesn't, but I think in the next couple days we could see some sort of consensus down there as well. Yeah,
a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
How's it looking tonight? Yeah, I'm actually about to get off because it's been very quiet. They did extend the severe thunderstorm warning down here in Texas. It's heading off to the southeast towards Madisonville. It's about to move through Centreville. Your classic severe thunderstorm warning. Nothing too much to worry about. 60 plus mile per hour gust, inch hail. This could knock out power, take down some tree branches. I wouldn't be caught outside in it, but not too bad. It's going to lose a little bit of steam as it pushes off down here to the south. It's moving into an environment that's not as favorable to, continue to let it truck on. But other than that, we do have this. We do have this severe thunderstorm warning up here. Same thing, 60 mile per hour winds, ping pong ball size hail, moving at 5 miles per hour to the west. Upton should be aware of this. I don't see any rotation in this system. Let me check one more time. Actually, that might have been the Colorado system. Let's check out our velocities. Not much. Although the velocities on WeatherWise aren't great. I would check Radar Omega, but we kind of looked at that. So, nope, pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Again, I don't really expect that to be the case the next 2 days. Maybe tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow stays somewhat quiet. But I don't know. Tuesday's going to give us something, that's for sure. I think tomorrow might as well. I mean, yeah, I think tomorrow might as well. But yeah, I'm gonna get off stream, and I'm gonna start getting all this stuff together and making sure I have my scenes up for Storm Chasers from here on out, and my transitions and everything set up correctly. I will say this: I really like WeatherWise, guys. It has a lot of potential. I like the way these states are a little bit bigger. The visualization of it. I have a clean radar here because I'm on WeatherWise. Let me show you the difference of the radar here on WeatherWise, and then let me show you it on Radar Omega. All right. We're going to look at the same exact spot. Give me a second. Yeah. So there's Colleen. Okay, there's Radar Omega. Here's WeatherWise. You notice the clutter that's gone? All that clutter. I can actually declutter it a little bit more. I don't want to do it too much though. But you can really just hold it to see, the worst part of the storm like that. I don't want to declutter it too much though, so we'll leave a little bit of that. But not only that, it runs really smoothly. The satellite's pretty nice. It's not super hard on my CPU. There's a bunch of different cams that you can look into. that you don't even need permission to look into, which is nice. There's a bunch of stuff that we're gonna the stream's gonna be constantly improving, and yeah, I'm excited, guys. Trust me. it's every stream's gonna look a little bit better, so it's cool. What about the hurricane that might hit Louisiana? Any updates? It's 240 plus hours out. There's no hurricane that might hit Louisiana. There's like it's not impossible that a hurricane hits Louisiana, but when we're talking 200 plus hours over on the GFS, yesterday it said that hurricane was going to hit Florida. Okay, I think the GFS now says it's going to hit Texas. I'll show you. I think the latest thing is it moved it to Texas. The European model thinks that hurricane's not going to exist. So it's too far out to take. It's too far out. We don't really want to take anything at its word. But I'll show you. I think the GFS now has it slamming into Texas. See? Houston. Will that happen? Probably not. That's 312 hours out. If you're worried about storms forecasting your weather correctly in the next 1 to 2 days, imagine thinking that it's going to forecast it correctly 10 to 14 days out. You know what I mean? But as I spoke about earlier, with the tropics, warm waters, Bermuda high shift a little bit to the west, and Enzo neutrals kind of favorable down here for development in the Caribbean and the Gulf. But we have a lot of shear over the region, and that's going to halt development a little bit, which is good. B, Joe, NTX, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Blondie. Yeah, whenever you're available, I think you're in my Discord. Whenever you're available, even if it's tonight, but it might be too late, just send me a message on Discord, and I would love to like hop on a quick call, maybe with if B's available. Whenever, we'll figure it out. And just discuss the whole mod situation. But we're really excited. I can update you on what happened in the meeting, everything like that. All right, guys. Yeah, guys, the northern lights are visible tonight. They're going to come in flashes and waves depending on where you are. You should be able to see them on your phone as far south as like almost the Gulf states, but it's harder. The timing has to be correct. They never get the timing correct of when to look up at the sky. They try to get close to it, but all right, I'm going to get off, guys. Oh, you can't verify your phone at the moment? Okay. It's fine. We're all good. We're all good. We'll figure it out. The Gulf is very warm. The Gulf is the second warmest in I think, recorded history right now. So, alrighty, I will be back on the next couple days. Going to be interesting. Probably pretty active. I'll be posting another video tomorrow morning on tropical update, on severe weather update for at least the next 3 days. And then, yeah, I'll probably be lingering around in Discord a little bit, trying to set up more stuff and get everything ready for that. So, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone being here. For those of you who don't know me, I do post every day, and I stream every day as well. So, live coverage, updates, everything US. So, I will see you guys later. Peace.